If you watch a lot of Hollywood movies and American TV shows, you'll probably notice a common trend: a sepia filter over a scene that is happening in Mexico. One of the most well-known examples is Breaking Bad, where most scenes in Mexico have a very strong sepia effect on them. That has been a joke on the internet for quite a while and has inspired some funny memes. This SpongeBob one specifically inspired me to create the Hollywood Mexico extension. Before I started development, I took a second to plan this little project. First, I thought of what exactly I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to create and publish a Chrome extension that runs only if the user is on google.com/maps. And when it runs, it checks if the user is looking at Mexican territory. And if they are, it applies the sepia effect. Like I always do, I'm using Notion for the planning. In my opinion, that's the easiest way to get an idea out of my head and start to work on it. Then I broke it down into development steps, each with its own goal. 1. Create a new Chrome extension that runs a JS file if the user is on Google Maps and add it to Chrome. Goal: it should run without errors and log "Hello World" on the console. 2. Create my Mexican territory detection algorithm, by far the hardest step. Goal: find out if the user is over Mexican territory with the maximum precision possible without it being too heavy or too slow. I wanted to be able to recreate the SpongeBob meme effect on Google Street View. I later found out that the Google Street View cars don't actually capture a few meters before and after the US-Mexico border crossings. 3. Apply the sepia effect based on the detection outcome. Goal: create an effect that resembles the ones used in movies and is applied if the user is over Mexico. 4. Gather the project publication assets, logo, screenshots, etc. Goal: have all the necessary assets needed to submit the app to Chrome Web Store. 5. Publish my extension on the Chrome Web Store. Goal: have the extension available for anyone to download and use. Then I started development. I began by creating my extension folder, named it Hollywood_Mexico, and opening it on VS Code. Then I created the manifest.json file and a sepiafilter.js file. On the JS file, I've only added a console log saying JS file called, and we can leave it at that for now. On the manifest.json file, I've added the extension's metadata and a couple of icons and set it up to run the sepiafilter.js file when the user is on the Google Maps site. I didn't worry about making the icons at this point, so I just created placeholders with the correct dimensions. Then I went into my Chrome extension settings, enabled developer mode, and loaded my newly created package. Once I went to Google Maps and found the message on the console, I could mark step 1 complete. For step 2, I won't go into a lot of detail about how the specific code works, to avoid this video getting long and boring. My purpose with this video is to demonstrate what was my thought process from the initial idea stage until the project was finished. So if you want to understand how each function does what it does, feel free to pause and analyze the code, or even copy the source code I left on the description and paste it into ChatGPT, asking it to explain it. Moving on. I started by finding on the internet a .geojson file for Mexico. This file contains the geographical shape information of the country with all the coordinates for the polygons that represent its borders. I then got the coordinates of what the user is seeing straight from the URL. Google Maps always shows the X, Y, and Z coordinates right on the URL at all times, and these are updated every time the map moves. I then tested these current maps coordinates against the polygons from the GeoJSON file to see if the point formed by the coordinates would be inside the boundaries of the polygons that form the Mexican territory. If it was inside, that meant the coordinate was within Mexican borders. If not, then it was outside. Step 3 was easier than I thought. To apply the sepia effect, I just used a CSS sepia filter, applied directly to the canvas element that contains the maps. I didn't expect it to be that easy, but doing just that with a strength of 75% gave me the exact result I was hoping for, and worked both on the map view and street view alike. Step 4 was also quite simple. I just created an icon using Midjourney and re-exported it in the required sizes. Then I took a couple of screenshots and wrote a very short description, and that was it. Only one step left: publishing. So lastly, I've zipped my extension folder and submitted it to the Chrome Web Store for review. Then, less than a day later, it was approved and ready to be downloaded by anyone who'd want it. Let me know what you think of the extension in the comments. The link to get it is on the description, as well as the link to the source code on GitHub, if you want to replicate it. As always, thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!